How's it going, everybody? It's TheNewSam coming at you again today with another Transformers video review. Today I want to take a look at one of my personal favorites. It's a bit of a brick, but it's big, it's blinging, it's shiny, it's awesome, it's cool, and it is, based on a figure. In fact, most of it is the same figure as something that I had when I was a kid, which was one of my absolute favorites then, too. A reissue from Japan's Chojin Masterforce line, C-310, God Ginrai. Now, God Ginrai here is in a pretty sizable box due to the fact that he does come with a lot of stuff and there is a lot of bulk to him. This is one hefty-ass tray that all this comes in. I mean, you've got God Bomber here, or at least most of God Bomber. You've got the missiles, one of which I've actually popped out for the God Cannon. You got Super Ginrai's head. You've got, over here, Ginrai, the actual figure himself. Ginrai, the trailer, well, the Ginrai Transtector, the trailer, double guns, rifles, God Cannon, and wings for God Bomber. It's all pretty fantastic. So let's bust this out and we'll see what it all looks like. So here we've got everything that was in the package taken out of the package. As stated previously, we've got the black single rifles, the gray double guns, the super mode head, Ginrai himself, God Bomber with God Cannon and missile attached, as well as the wings, the trailer, and Ginrai's Transtector right there. So, to segment this off, let's get rid of everything we can, except Ginrai and his very Optimus Prime looking Transtector. At the beginning of his God Mastership in the series, this is all he really had in order to do battle. The Destrons, of course, were concerned due to just how much this thing looked like Optimus Prime. I guess they all kind of remember him. It's kind of a big deal, after all. So, differences, of course, from Optimus Prime. This thing's only got 4 wheels, where Prime would have 6. Transformations, of course, completely different, but they maintain much of the same look of Prime, due to the fact that this was originally a Powermaster Optimus Prime figure. However, Powermaster Prime himself had a plastic front section of the cab. The windows were all stickers. This was all molded in with this piece and wasn't chrome. Like, it had a bit of chrome on the front, but that was it. Same with the grille. This whole piece was just one big gray piece. It was, they really did a number on this one, made it look a lot better. Similarly with Ginrai here, I don't believe this was chrome on him on High Q, the figure that came with Powermaster Prime. But anyway, so Ginrai would get this suit of armor by putting his master braces, these 2 bracelets that he found in the glove compartment of this thing, together and saying Masterforce, and then he would very painfully transform into an engine block, as this was the Godmaster gimmick. The engine block, when plugged into the front, would then unlock a clip right up in here that would allow the legs to come down and thus begin the transformation. So with that, flip the legs down, flip the feet out, stand them up, pan up with the camera, arms come out, forearms come down, and head flips up. Another difference between Powermaster Optimus Prime and Ginrai is the eyes, which are blue. On the actual figure, or on the original figure, and on the actual molded plastic there, it's red. And even on the super mode head, his eyes are red. But they kept him blue for here, which is cool. Autobot, blue eyes, just kind of how they roll. So, not a whole lot of posability, obviously, being a figure from the 80s as this is. You've basically got that. You could make a case for that, I guess. He can look down, or just down, I guess, really. And you could count that as his knees bending in case he needs to, I don't know, be on his knees for any reason. But yeah, pretty much for useful articulation, he's got elbows, and those are even those are just a part of his transformation. And of course, you can equip his weapons to him, but he can't hold them straight out, because if you put them flat like that, this is the highest he can get them. And if you angle them a little bit so that you can hold them higher, he's still not holding them straight out. As is the staple for many anime series where people do battle, eventually they come across a foe that is a lot stronger than they are. Thus, Ginrai needed a bit of an upgrade. That upgrade came in the form of this trailer. The trailer was a second transtector which could combine itself with the original transtector in order to form a considerably more powerful robot, and also featured the fun ability to transform into a battle station. In this mode, the weapons are pretty easy to store, because you've got a lot more pegs, or a lot more holes for the pegs to go in. The most typical configuration is to have the silver guns on the sides, either pointing straight up or aiming straight forward, and the black single guns pegged into the top of the trailer here, where they won't do anyone any good, but still he's like a slightly armed vehicle. It's pretty cool. A little bit more like maybe a rolling armory. The back of the trailer does feature, you gotta kind of do it two sides at once here, a fold down ramp, and it can, I think it can store a throttle bot, but I think that's probably about the best you're gonna get out of it. Usually I just use it for storage of the super mode head, just to kind of keep it out of sight but keep it with the figure when it's in vehicle mode. So, we'll get Ginrai out of the way for a second here, and let's turn this thing into a battle station. So we'll unpeg the guns because we're going to reposition where they go anyway. And fold that up to release these little tabs here, allowing these pieces to fold to the side. Fold that all the way down. Fold those and that up and out of our way. Take the whole shebang here, remove the head, and split this whole bit like that. Zoom, no, just put them back a bit more. I'd zoom out a bit more, but I don't really have any more zoom. Okay. These then, oh, get that out of the way. These then fold out, down, out, down. Ginrai just rolls off because he's on wheels. It's kind of how he does things. I was going to say how he rolls, but that would have been a terrible joke. Fold these little battlements up so that they've got, you know, displaying the Autobot logos despite their upside downness. And then from here you can plug in the guns, have them aiming wherever, and the silver guns can plug into these little side bits here. And as a fun fact, the way the Godmaster figures are built, they can actually man the silver guns. Basically, put them in a severely bow-legged stance, and there's a little clip right down here, right below their codpiece. And on the guns themselves, you've got these two little pegs. Just kind of take this, slot it in there. So he's basically teabagging the gun. Put his arms down a bit. I guess that's supposed to be like a screen, but they never really put screens on it. You know, if Repro Labels ever does a set for this guy, they should do screens for the guns. That'd be kind of cool. And then, of course, you can put him on there, and he can swivel around in the little peg hole and whatnot, and kind of just man the battle stations. Pretty cool. And additionally, the part in the center there is a good place to position Ginrai himself if he wants to be manning the battle station by himself. But anyway, on to the super robot. Quickly get Ginrai back into truck mode. Remove the guns again. Now from this mode it's pretty easy. Fold those back up. Fold those back in, fold that back up, that back down, fold those back down, those fold down, fists pop out, another feature that was introduced on Ginrai and not on Powermaster Prime. Take the truck, fold it up, slot them in, and take the Super Robot head, place it in there, and there we have Super Ginrai. He's a brick. He is definitely a brick. Useful articulation on this guy includes that. I mean, you can go the whole way, but yeah, that. That's it. I mean, I guess you could say he can, you know, spread his legs to do the splits, or at least have a wide-legged stance, but then he just kind of tips forward anyway. So yeah, that. That's it. Of course, in this mode, given the black rifles, like it ain't no thing. Pop the silver ones on his shoulders here to kind of mimic G1 Prime smokestacks. And there you have them. Ready to do battle. Fold that out, fold that forward. He's just ready to fuck people's shit right up. Okay. Now on to the next part. Now, as previously stated, Masterforce was an anime series, and anybody who's watched any anime for any extended period of time knows that one power-up for the hero of the show is just not enough. As such, they created God Bomber. Basically, how it went down was Super Ginrai got his ass kicked in the coming final battles and whatnot. So they needed a way to power him up. Thus, they created this thing, God Bomber. Now, God Bomber is on his own a six-wheeled thing. It's kind of like a battle wagon type of deal, right? Maybe a new take on roller, I don't know. Comes with the God Cannon. He's got wings on him with thrusters that are pointing the opposite way. Not sure what's up with that. But anyway, his primary purpose, however, is you take the trailer here, pop open the back ever so slightly, take this big ass hitch thing here, put it in there, and Prime can haul Ginrai can haul God Bomber like a B train, making for a very long vehicle mode, and in fact probably one of the longest I've ever seen that wasn't that wasn't comprised of trains. God Bomber was reportedly not sentient. However, there were certain actions that he took in the series that sort of seemed to indicate otherwise, but they never really explored it too much. Anyway, God Bomber did have a robot mode, and he is a ridiculous parts former. Basically, you snap the front off, unpeg those, unpeg that whole front section, fire off the missile accidentally. It's very touchy, that missile launcher. Pull these apart, put little feet out, and then basically we just assemble the robot right here. Legs, torso. You just kind of fold back. Actually, they're supposed to come off and switch around, but well, whatever, we'll do it. There's his head hiding in there. It's the only part that you don't have to parts form. Take these, peg them in there, give them some arms, flip the head up, take this piece, and attach it on there as the back, just kind of fold the little trailer tail down, and then he can wield the God Cannon in his hand. Put the missile back into it. Or additionally, way up on his shoulder, Either way, God Bomber, pretty cool. Remarkably, he stands almost as tall as Super Ginrai in his robot mode, which is pretty cool, but he's of course a lot lighter due to the fact that he's made of a bunch of parts. Well, this guy is made up of a trailer, a truck, and some metal. Basically, in battle, Ginrai could command God Bomber to do things, and God Bomber would do them. Most notably, protect the children. That'd be the Headmaster Juniors, because they usually wound up getting themselves in a lot of shit. Finally, when the time came, and Ginrai needed enough power to battle his most fearsome adversaries, came time for the Chojin Gatai. We basically take God Bomber completely apart again. Fold his head back in. Fold his feet back up. And now in this mode, he could connect to Ginrai. Let me see if I recall how to do this. Ah, yes, here we are. So, like so, for a big kick and boot. And this tab here clips into there. Little hole there. And then it also clips in right in here. I usually like to spread his legs a little bit when I put him into this mode, because otherwise he just, I don't know. But anyway, so big kick and boots, dramatically increasing the size of the figure already. We take the winged arms of God Bomber, and they become sort of like winged gauntlets for Ginrai. And don't worry, I'll pan up so you can see his head soon. Actually, pan up now. Coming around to the back, we lift this up. We take God Bomber's chest plate. Pegs there, holes there. Take the wings. Stickers facing front. Wingtips facing up, of course. Fold that down as best you can. While we're spinning them back around, we take the silver guns, put them on the boots. Did I put them in the right spot? No, I didn't. Actually go here. So many holes down here, it's difficult to tell which one it goes in sometimes. There we go. Silver guns on his feet. Take the big blingin' front piece of God Bomber here. Clip it onto Ginrai as a giant chest plate of shiny justice. The God Cannon then gets slung over his shoulder. And the rifles go into his hands. We are now using absolutely everything that came in that box. So this is God Ginrai in all of his really tall, super shiny glory. He is a massive, massive figure with a lot of bulk to him, a lot of weight, and he just looks really cool. He retains the same articulation that he had as Super Ginrai, that being his arms, and that's it. But he is so imposing looking that I don't even give a fuck how little articulation he has. He looks awesome. Of course, because this is me, I'm going to attempt to fire this at the camera. I have no idea how well it's going to work. Oh, what do you know, we got it. But yes, for the sheer size, the sheer massive size of this guy, he is absolutely impressive. I just love the way the light catches on that chrome chest plate of his. So cool. God Ginrai, one of the coolest Transformers ever to come out of any Japanese Generation 1 line. Search your feelings, you know it to be true. I mean, a case could be made for any of the Maximus figures, but I don't own any of them yet, so we'll see how that goes. So final thoughts on this guy. Big, amazing, massive, heavy, overall impressive, a great display piece, because obviously you can't really do much in the way of action posing with him, so just having him up on a display kind of lording over a bunch of smaller G1 toys, so cool. He looks just fucking amazing, especially, like I said, the way the light reflects off his chrome chest plate. So cool. So this has been my look at this guy. One of my favorite of the retro Transformers figures. One of my favorite from any G1 line ever. And also based on the Optimus Prime that I had for the longest amount of time intact, I should say. I still have my original Prime. I don't have my Powermaster Prime anymore, but I've got this guy, so I'm still good. He's very, very cool. I picked him up for probably about 120 about 11 years ago. I don't know what he goes for now. Might be cheaper, might be more expensive. But anybody who doesn't have this guy, collects G1, or just wants a big, impressive display piece, go for it. You can't go wrong with, you know, the amount of chrome sitting on this guy's chest, or just the sheer size of him. I mean, okay, let's size comparison for a second, shall we? Standing next to Encore Convoy to see how he sizes up against the original Optimus Prime. So big, so impressive, so cool. Anyway, I'm off for now. We'll catch you guys later with whatever I'm reviewing next. Take care.